Welcome to Trading Lounge and the ASX 200 for the 1st of July, and I've got two ways of counting this wave 4 here, and this is pretty much the same situation with the S&P 500. We've either got wave 4 here as an A and a B and a C wave that's finished here, which I don't think is the case, and then we've got wave 4 over here where we have this little move here up to 6,000, and then we have wave C down through here, and then we move up from that particular point there. So that's what we're going through. We need solutions for that. So let's go in and have a look at both of these. So this one first here, this is the sort of the main one that we're sort of tracking here, where we have wave A here, an A and a B and a C here for wave B, and then down for wave C as wave 4 here. And from wave B to wave C here, we're looking for 5 waves. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we'll need wave 5 to come into play here at the 6,000, which is quite good because, you know, if we get our 5 waves, just give me a moment here, we get our 5 waves coming into play here, then the market, if this is going to be the case, the market should just drop from that point in another 5 waves down through here. And then we push up from that point. Now, if this is not the case here, then, and if wave 4 is here, let's just go to the chart that's got that on it, this one here, currently we've got resistance as expected at this trend line here, and yesterday I drew this out here where we would have the arrival, the reaction, looking for the first high above the level and the support and so on here. So we don't need that here now. It was just to point out that trend lines also have support and resistance, which is something that you probably already know, but adding the sort of bit more definition to it is a good idea. So that's there. So in this particular case here, we'll go over this here in more detail in a moment, but in a nutshell, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So today we're looking for a move up here for wave 5 to the 6,000. Now it may come above that and it may not and whatever, but if it was going to be more bullish, then we would look at this here as an A wave here, a B wave here, and then a C wave here for this, and then we would push up here higher for this. And then we would see an A and a B. Well, if I just redo this here a little bit here, let's just get this a little bit more accurate here. So then what we'd be looking for here is then another move up here is probably something like this here anyway, and then basically pushing up through here. Probably won't stay around very long at that point, but that we can go at that point, we can go through this point at that point because we've got 5 waves in this space here. So anything technically above that here would be a long trade at that point. So we just need to sort of be a little bit mindful of this event, and also it failing down here in 5 waves here and then moving up from that point. So that's what we're up against at the moment with this. And I mean, stock is going to do much the same as well with all of this, and yeah, so let's just go and have a little look at this here. So on the 1 hour chart here, if I can just squash it up a little bit. So we've got wave A here, wave 3 here, and we're going for wave 4. And wave 4 has just become complicated. That's all, just giving us a headache. So wave A here, an A and a B and a C wave here. And we're looking for 5 waves up. So in a nutshell, we can look at it like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. It can be counted differently as well, and we can have a look at that as well. But all the ways that I count it, we still end up with a wave 4 here, and we'll be looking for a move higher here. So Wednesday tends to give us that midweek high. It can actually open lower and then close higher for the day, and then Thursday can open a bit higher and then trade down for the day. So just to keep that in mind, that bullish weekly cycle. So that's pretty much it, really. Now, if I go to the 15-minute chart and the tick chart, they can be counted differently and labeled 1 degree higher. So, but it still be the same count as such. In this case here, it's okay. In this case here, I've counted it differently here with 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and 2 here. In fact, that needs to change here. So I need to change that to, I have to change that to here. It's okay. It's all good. And 3 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the C wave here, and then up for 1 here and back for 2 here. So if you wanted to go long today, that 59.50 here, this market's just doing a little correction across that. So if you see the 59.50 as support, then you can trade up for that. So I'll just put that there. And stop can just go under here somewhere. And you need to obviously take profit at the 6,000 here, or close to it. You know, have a trailing stop going up to it, and just don't let it turn into a losing trade, because these never reach the highs here at 6,000. So there's obviously some pressure there, so just be a little bit mindful of that. But all in all, we should see us get pretty close to this this particular level here for this. So I can sharpen this up a little bit. Wave 3 will probably go to that old high, you know, and then wave 5 will just push it up here a little bit higher. Of 5, of C, of B here. And as I mentioned, you know, we'll just take profit here, and then we'll just wait to see if we get, you know, see what happens after that. See if we actually get support back up here, or after the third wave down here as an ABC, then we can look to go short at that point. Or you could go short here if you wanted to, right on the turn. If you can counter clear 5 waves up, then you can short it up here as well. Just be a little bit mindful of things, that's all. Okay, well, that's it, really. Just keeping it pretty simple today. Yes, look, the other point is too, is we can't trade any stocks just yet until this pattern has resolved itself. So if we look at this situation here, so, you know, banks and that can rally today and so on, but then they may turn from the 6,000 and pull back down through here. So we can't trade stock. I'm talking banks and resources. We can't trade them. They've pretty much both got the same pattern, actually, the banks and the resources. So we can't really trade them unless we are back down here, we've finished this correction, then we can move into stock. Or if we get support on this level here at 6,000, then we can trade stock. You know, we are seeing things like, just put in iron ore here for a moment because we've been looking at iron ore, so I'll just use it as a guide stick. We're looking for iron ore to have these 5 waves up here, which we tracked. And then from this high, we were looking for it to pull back into the 50-60% retracement level. So we've got some sort of ABC pattern coming back through here. Is it finished yet? I don't know. I haven't got into it, but it's just bouncing off the 700 here at the moment. So we'll just leave it. We'll just wait until we get a clear pattern on the ASX 200. So like I mentioned, we do need to see that support sitting on the 6,000 to go long, or we have to wait for this to finish and pull back, and then we pick up here, and then we can look at some stocks at that point too, and we can trade all up through here, and we'll see which stock is going to tune in with this. Is it going to be resources, or is it going to be banks? or is it going to be both? That's what we'll need to figure out. But BHP and CBA have got the same sort of patterns at the current tops at the moment, which basically relate to all of this here. So BHP and CBA have come down, and I'll just say the resources have come down, so the banks have come down, and then they've had this rally here testing these highs here. So those banks, they could pull back down through here, and BHP and that could pull back down through here too. But they both seem to have the same pattern. So we'll get into those if the 6,000 becomes support, or it pulls back into this level here, and then we'll still need confirmation that we're heading higher here at that point. We'll need the first little impulse wave up. We can go along from that point, and what we really need is see 5 waves up, then a pullback, but we want to get in a little bit earlier, so we'll take a closer look at that. Alrighty, well that's it for Australia at the moment. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.